Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pacer Performance cab lights. Now these are going to be the smoked cab lights. They're also going to be available in amber and clear lens. Just see eTrailer. Today we're going to be installing them on our 2013 Ram 2500. These are also going to work for the 1500 and the 3500 series from 2003 all the way up to 2017. Now these lights are going to be clearance lights, so they're going to let other drivers and other people know how high your truck is actually sitting. So they're designed for larger vehicles so that you can see the top of your roof. If you go under any parking garages or anything like that, somebody can tell you, if they're sitting at the pull office, they can tell you that your truck is not going to fit a lot easier with these lights on your roof. Another thing is they're going to give your truck a nice stylish look. Without these lights on my truck, it did have a bland look to it, but this kind of finishes it off. And with that smoked lens on the blacked out theme I've gone with, it really does do a nice touch, even when they're not on. The design of the light is designed to conform to the shape of your roof. So you notice we have it on the curved part of our roof here, which is where they're supposed to go. You don't want to put them too far back because then they're useless. And you don't want to put them too far forward because they're not in the right spot then. They're going to have a foam seal on the bottom so that when you screw it down to your roof, it's going to form a nice seal, so you don't have to worry about any water getting into the holes that you're going to have to drill. It is going to be a drill installation. You are going to have to drill 5 holes. It's not difficult. The holes that you put for the wires is the larger holes you're going to have to drill. It's not tough. We'll go ahead and show you how to do that now. To start your installation, you're going to need to lay out your cab lights. Now, there's going to be a lot of places, a lot of websites you can look up, and they're going to tell you to remove your headliner. With this install, you're not going to have to, which is going to take out a lot of time and the hassle of having to remove that. What's also nice about this kit is we're going to have these foam seals underneath our cab lights, so we can actually use them to map out where we want to put our lights and where we're going to drill our holes. There's going to be 2 holes in each one of our foam gaskets on the bottom, so we'll go ahead and mark our holes. And then you'll want to put a hole, a dot, right in the middle of this open spot, and that's where we're going to run our wires down through. Now the first hole we're going to drill is going to be our pilot hole for the hole that the wires are going to go down through underneath our headliner. You want to make sure that you don't push too hard because you don't want to poke through and puncture your headliner or any wiring underneath. Now we can go ahead and open up each one of our pilot holes to 1/4 inch. Now to get your wires in place, earlier we did say that you weren't going to have to remove your headliner. You're not going to have to remove it completely like you'll see in other videos. What we did was we did end up extending our wires. It's just going to help with wiring, make it a lot easier. We do have this wire here at eTrailer. You can pick up a small roll of it or a small package of it. What you're going to do is it's going to be easier because all you have to do is remove your A-pillar supports and your sun visors. And then you're able to pull down your headliner just enough, you don't want to kink it anywhere, to be able to get your arm up in there past your wire that you're extending down through. Leave about 4 inches up on your roof. What you can do is tie a little knot in it and it won't come down through the hole. Now we're going to take some butt connectors and connect our wires that we extended to our lights. We do have these available here at eTrailer. And we can take our light and splice it together. And we'll repeat that process for all the wires hanging out of our roof. Now with all of our connections made, we'll go ahead and untie our wires and feed our wires down through the hole. We wanted to leave them tied that whole time just in case we were to drop the wire. We didn't want it going back down through the hole, so we didn't have to rerun it. Now what we need to do is take our light. You are going to get incandescents and LEDs. The LEDs are obviously going to be a lot brighter than your incandescents, and they're going to last a lot longer. Then we can take our foam pad, slide it over our light, and then it's going to thread into the back of our light cover. And you'll twist to lock it into place. We can take our light, slide it down into place. We're going to take our ground wire and we're going to screw it in underneath our rear hole into our pilot hole. Take our light, line it up, line our screw up with our hole. And screw it down. We're not going to screw it down all the way. We're going to get our front one lined up too, and then we'll tighten them both down. Now with each screw you are going to get a little rubber O-ring. You want to make sure you put the rubber O-ring on the screw before you put your screw through the assembly. That's going to help seal that hole where the screw is going through. And we'll go ahead and repeat that process for the remaining 4 lights. And we went ahead and spliced our wires into each other. So we took our extended wire from our first light, ran it to our second, spliced it, took our second wire, spliced it to our third, and on down the line. And then we took a wire and ran it from our last light, ran it through our firewall and out to our fuse box. Now your kit is going to come with a toggle switch. I, however, do not recommend using this. Mainly because when you want your cab lights to be on is when your running lights are going to be on or when your headlights come on. And you want it to come on automatically. You don't want to have to think about switching this on and off each time. Although if you do want to use it, it is going to come with an inline fuse. So what you would do is you would run your wire that's extended from your first light, down to here on your switch, and then from your switch to your fuse, and then from your fuse to the positive terminal on your battery. But if you run it the way we did, you run it to a fuse up on the fuse box, and we'll go ahead and show you which fuse it is. Now what we did is we found the fuse. We have a 15 amp fuse. Now this is on a Dodge Ram. What you need to do is you need to find your fuse for your running lights. And all we did was we put a fuse tap on it. What you're going to do is you'll take a female spade connector and then an inline fuse and then run that to your power wire. What you want to do is, since our fuse is 15 amps, you want the inline fuse to be less than that or the same. So we went ahead and put a 10 amp fuse in so that our fuse to our cab lights is going to blow before our running lights will, so that we're safe to get home if we were to have any issues. Now that we've gone over how to run your wires, we're going to go ahead and button everything up on the inside. Well guys, with all that being said, that's going to do it for our look and installation of the Pacer Performance clearance lights.